Hey, hello everyone. I just wanted to throw out a quick few-minute update here for Bitcoin because I think there's interesting developments happening in here, especially with the stock market getting on a weaker foot. I talked about it on the last one, but I'm still like I mentioned, even when I looked at IBIT, I'm still fairly bullish. But I think this correction should have a little bit more to go. It does look like the spike right here was a failed move. It looks like it must have been just a simple B wave. And if we carefully look, this does shape up better as a five-wave move. Now, the fact that we have a little overlap between this high and this low, it's a little problematic here. But it just looks better as a for now as a simple A. So a five-wave moving A, B that a regular or a diagonal, and then up in B, and then a wave 1, 2, and then a possible 3, 4, and 5. Now, if we do, what I like to do is I like to go with ABCs first. So we'll go, like an A up in B, down in C. And I like to look for equality between those waves first, so that it is coming in at about 98, 98, 98 and 988. That's where 100% comes in. And then 161.8 comes at about 92, 531, which is somewhere in the neighborhood of a 50% retracement of this entire move. So if we're failing at the bottom of this channel, once we break these, if we do, and it looks like, there's a couple of rejections here, if that happens and we start to move lower, then that would be the first target towards the bottom of the channel. We'll see how the market reacts, but this could become a larger third wave where we're actually breaking towards 100 and what's going on here, towards 161.8, and that would be more of a larger wave C, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So that's my thinking. And then obviously once we see signs of completion from somewhere into those levels, then we can look to start a larger third wave upward. So very, very important what's happening right now in Bitcoin. If we're going to be losing this ground, and the fact that we had this failed move in there, then we have this failed move, those are both very interesting signs. So let me go just a little bit deeper in here, and we'll do another short exercise where I will go, these are daily charts, and I will go wave C, and we can do a decomposition of the wave C and see how that will look in 5 waves. But we go as an impulse. So, and because what I wanted to do is I wanted to measure basically this wave 2 and see how far that ran up. So that was right into the 78.6 of that decline. So that's where we stopped. And now we're coming lower. And then if we were to look for a wave 3, we would go multiples of wave 1, and it's going to get a little bit crowded in here, and I'm going to move some of this stuff out of the way, something like that, C versus A, and I can even eliminate some of this stuff, just so I'm going to leave the 100%, and I will remove these 127, 138, 150, just kind of remove all of those. And then, so for the wave 3, you have equality at about 101,479. I'm going to remove the 127 and 138. And then you have 161.8 at about 97.86. So this is what I'm talking about here, is about this third wave that could be getting started. So at the minimum should reach 101,479, and then if it ends up being larger, then it can go all the way to 97, which means that it would almost likely push this wave 2 probably below those levels and much closer to somewhere down into this neighborhood by the time this wave it's all said and done with 61.8, and then that's kind of how it would look. But again, things are never ideal. We're just making a plan in here. So basically, what I'm looking for is for this high here to hold. If for any shorting or anything like that, we cannot get back above that high. Anything above that level would be a complete invalidation of this whole thing, and something else is going on in here. Again, one of my first thoughts was that this was probably already a wave 2 and the beginning of a 1-2 and go, but the fact that we failed up into those levels changes that outlook, and we got to change the outlook. You have to change the outlook when the data comes in and tells you something different, because the worst thing is like to get stuck into the same account or idea, but then the market says something else, and we got to look into it. And it doesn't have to be, even here, it doesn't have to be like a simple ABC. It could turn into something more complex and be nasty, but for right now, that's kind of the number one game plan here for Bitcoin. We'll see what happens. All right, I'll leave it at that. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.